174,448,269 nice coronavirus cases, 3.7 million deaths, 157 million recovered. Look at those numbers trending downwards. Let's go yesterday, please. Okay, 12,000 cases. I feel like... Nope, that's about the same as it has been. Hey, India's becoming under control. I need to share my screen. Sorry, my bad. India's getting under control again. You see this?
I'm not watching the stream.
Why not?
Well, it just popped up on my end. It's loading. It still is loading.
Ah, dang technology. But India's under control again. That's nice. Her deaths are a bit on the high end.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go to China. Is China?
China's at like 80, 90.
This just seems fake. No way. They're just not.
I don't know, because I've seen reports. I mean, I don't know if they're real. But they were from people who are actually in China, and they said that it's basically under control.
Well, I feel like now it is, but like back then.
No, they said they said it was under control, like back in May.
This May or the previous May?
Previous May. Back in June, when it got big here, they were like doing fine over there.
They got big here in August. No, I'm talking
It
about.
got big here in like April. Well, not really big. That's when it started growing.
Yeah.
We had 3 separate waves. We had an April wave, April 2020. Then there was a June wave. And then there was like a November wave. And then at the end of December, it all started to fall. Because that's when the vaccines came out.
Where the heck is Nebraska? We were at 30. Oh, we're at 35. This is. Oh, I went yesterday. That's why there's like. Why are there no case numbers here? Here we go. 35th. 32 deaths. Pretty normal. Let's look at the graph here. Seems about normal. Yep. Diminishing to basically nothing. Diminishing to basically. However, I heard today that Joe Biden, that Biden's goal to have 70% of adults vaccinated by the 4th of July is no longer going to probably be possible.
47%?
Huh?
47%?
He said he wants 70%. We're above 50.
70?
Yeah.
Ain't no way that many boomers are gonna be okay with that.
Well, again, let me finish what I was saying. So we just hit above 50 for adults. However, his goal was 70 by the 4th of July. That means we could have 4th of July parties. There's no risk. We're done. Herd immunity. However,
at 70?
Yes, that was
right?
his goal. However, or I shouldn't say herd immunity, it's enough to slow it down to where we shouldn't have to worry about a booster.
Okay.
However, we're not going to make it because vaccine rates drastically dropped this week.
Oh, I know. No, I know. My friend used to work at a vaccine clinic, and he said that they no longer need his help.
Getting laid off.
Good, yeah. I made the joke that I made the joke that he got fired because he wasn't working that much, anyways. But he was working like 1, maybe 2 shifts a week, and he'd always tell me about like how many people were going in, the people he'd see. But he was telling me that these last couple weeks, it's really died down.
Yeah, I think our only way...
This week especially is when he got laid off, but it's really dropped, though.
I think our only way to get to herd immunity now is that schools require, or the Fed requires kids to be vaccinated before they go back. That is the only way.
You can't require that.
Yes,
I
you
feel like it's
can.
illegal. Can you?
Yeah. Do you remember the shots you had to get when you turned 18? Do you remember the shots you had to get before kindergarten?
Oh,
Do you
that's
remember the
right.
shots you had to get before 7th grade? Those are required. They don't let you in the school if you don't have those shots unless you have the card saying that you can't have vaccines.
That's right. Yeah, I do remember that.
They don't let that happen. I mean, in some states they might.
I feel like we haven't
But
had the
here they
vaccines. I feel like we haven't had the vaccine long enough to make that decision. Just like you said, we just hit 6 months.
What do you mean 6 months? We just hit 50.
Like we don't know if there's any long-term side effects. I mean, I hope there's not.
What are you gonna do? You've already done 50% of the population. What's it
No,
matter?
my point is that
going.
before you can, my point is that I don't think you can lawfully enforce it
Yeah, you can.
if there's no been long-term side. That's what I was trying to say, and you were like, am I lagging on your end?
No.
So on my end, I'm like, you went all over the place.
Oh yeah, you're popping it out, but that's normal for your Wi-Fi. You always do that.
No.
Under the
But
U.S.
that's what I was trying to say. You cannot lawfully enforce that if there's been no long-term studies.
Under the U.S. Constitution, and this is what all these people that talk about. I have the right to deny the vaccine. No, you don't. You don't have crap for rights. Under the U.S. Constitution, the president has the power to quarantine. Well, the Congress and the president have the power to quarantine.
Yes.
And the quarantine powers, there's nothing underneath that. It just says power to quarantine. So all it takes is for the Democrats to pool their resources together and say, yeah, we're requiring you to get vaccinated. If you don't get vaccinated and you're not going to have a vaccine card, yeah, no, you're not going to be able to do this, this, and that.
Can you do that though? But there's been no long-term studies. I feel like they wouldn't allow that.
They're not concerned about long-term studies. It's a political discussion at this point. Nobody's really concerned about the long-term side effects. Listen, do you want long-term? The vaccine's been out for over a year. There's people with the vaccine that've had it for over a year now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't do long-term with something like this. Long-term means the entire life of humans. There'll be another outbreak and another disease of some kind before we ever make it to that point. Most of those people will die of other causes before we ever get to the point where, oh, maybe it was the vaccine. A long-term study is literally impossible. And so what? And we put an expiration date on everybody that had the vaccine at 50? We're all going to procreate anyways, and our kids will be able to do it, so... So, long-term side effects. Listen, they literally just the other day, for the first time in 20 years, so the last time they did this, the Twin Towers were still up. There hadn't been anthrax attacks. Osama bin Laden was still alive. Bush was running
Dead
against
after
Al
the
Gore.
Twin Towers.
Huh?
What?
Anyways, that's what I'm saying. I'm setting the stage. Imagine 20 years ago. For the first time in 20 years, the FDA has approved of a new Alzheimer's medication. Accelerated research. And I'm like, why is it accelerated?
Oh, I'm saying you went backwards. You said the Twin Towers were still up. Osama bin Laden was still alive.
Yeah.
Dead after that.
What?
Your chronological timeline is out of order.
What doesn't matter? The point is, it's 20
Yeah,
years ago.
You gotta
20 years
list
ago,
the
that-
events as going back in time, not like jumping around to different periods.
Well, I was just thinking them as they came into my head. The point
Oh,
is...
well, you should think of events further back.
No, I'm trying to think of stuff, and I had just...
Twin
been
Towers
born.
are still up. Okay, now think of something from 1990s.
Kyle had not been born.
1980s.
Kyle was just an idea.
That was an idea.
He was literally an idea.
Was I
Will
alive?
wasn't even an idea. You and I were strutting around, and I was strutting around in diapers. You were probably in pull-ups.
I was already walking on 2 hind legs.
Well, you should be like 2 or 3 by the time by what we're talking about. Anyways, so the FDA approved for the first time in 20 years an Alzheimer's medication, accelerated research, and my question is, why accelerated?
You need to get them back up to learning capabilities.
I don't understand.
We don't have much time left.
I'm like, and then I was okay. There's no obvious reason. The reason is because the people in power are the people that need the medication. So naturally, they're going to approve of an accelerated research because they need it.
What do they mean by accelerated research? Like they're just going to keep throwing money at it until it works?
Yep. That's all that means.
Just keep throwing money at it until it works. Good idea.
I'm pretty sure it just means that they have government funding now and that they have unlimited resources. So, and they're putting probably government labs to work on this. Hey, those people need jobs. They're finished with the coronavirus vaccine, so they need jobs. You know, not like they're going to be working on antivirals for the coronavirus. That's going to take decades.
Yeah.
However, I think HIV antivirals have had a pretty big impact on that. That's actually like most of our antivirals are because of HIV. Interesting enough.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think HIV is an interesting thing. Somebody was talking to, I talk about HIV and someone's like, "Oh, but we cured that." I'm like, in one person. We've done it once, and it was with a bone marrow transplant. That was literally huh?
Is that who? Is that Michael Jordan or who is it that we cured?
I don't know. It was a few years ago we did it. They cured it. It was literally a bone marrow transplant. And I was just like, seriously? It makes sense because the HIV is tied with your immune system.
Oh, in March 2020, the second person has been cured.
With a different process or the same process?
Stem cell transplant.
So a different process. The first one was a bone marrow transplant, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and so the bone marrow transplant, that makes sense because it's tied to your immune system, and the stem cells, I'm assuming they used it to modify the immune system so that it would attack the HIV. Is that what they did?
What?
Is that what they did? They modified the immune system to attack the HIV?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't read about it.
Anyways, I think what they did with the bone marrow transplant is they took the bone marrow from somebody who had had the HIV vaccine and gave him that. And then, not before they wiped his entire immune system clean.
Yeah.
No, there isn't an HIV vaccine. They're working on it. They've got one that kind of works. And they've got a pill that kind of stops it. It's only approved for men, though. And there's an HIV pill. Interestingly enough.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. They have to word it. Assigned. It does not work for people assigned to female at birth. Which is interesting. So. Yeah, look at that. We're talking all kinds of stuff today. Viruses, vaccines.
Yeah. It all started with annotations on YouTube.
Huh? Yeah. No, but yeah,
and
HIV.
Then the coefficient of friction on asphalt.
No, but the HIV one, the bone marrow transplant made sense to me. I was like, I mean, it's a long shot because bone marrow transplants are very dangerous and they don't always work for the things that they're meant to work for all the time. But it made sense. If you wipe their immune system, you can wipe out the HIV and then give them bone marrow to rebuild their immune system, but then they don't have the HIV anymore. But there's a high likelihood that they will die before you get their entire immune system wiped out because of an infection. Which is the high likelihood because they have HIV. So their immune system was already compromised.
Mm-hmm.
The stem cell transplant. I think that might be the solution to the problem. Except I don't think that's going to be the one they're going to use forever. I think if people who are rich enough want to get cured, they can do that. And if they can find a match. However, I think for the majority of people who will be cured of HIV, they will find something else. Some sort of antiviral, I'm assuming.
I'll give you a little shot.
It's probably going to be like a regiment of shots and IV.
It's like a 10-inch long needle.
Okay, that's literally what they use for that's almost what they use for your bone marrow. Have you ever seen a bone marrow transplant?
No.
Or a sample?
No.
I have.
What?
I was there in person. I went with my grandpa to Omaha. He was seeing his doctor, and they had to do a bone marrow sample.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I did not walk around to the other side of the table to go watch them stick this massive needle into his leg. I was on the other side of the room talking to the nurse, but
I see.
as she...
Wait, how old were you?
I don't remember. This would have been before 2012.
So wait, so this is still in your exploring days?
10 or 11? What do you mean in my exploring days?
Oh, I remember when your mom was in the hospital. We all you did was explore the hospital.
Well, this is 2010, 2011. This is before that.
Yeah. Because I remember when I went to go visit, it was like, where's Doc? Yeah, he's out exploring. He's seen the basement, the second floor, the third floor.
Well, I had nothing else to do.
Wait, did you get the timestamp? An hour?
Probably not. I'll have to listen to it, but whatever. That's what I plan to do today anyways, besides write a script about the scientific method.
You don't work today?
No.
We're doing a video on the scientific method?
Yes, sure. I sure am.
Hmm.
It's about time. I've been thinking
I assume that should have been like the first video you did. The scientific method, scientific notation, sig figs.
The scientific method has changed since we would have taught it back then.
Is it really? What is it now?
Huh?
What is it now?
I don't know. It's different.
Is it like procedure, test, results, test again?
It's very different than what I was taught.
Oh.
The scientific method is...
You work this weekend, don't you?
No.
I thought you... Did you work last weekend?
I just worked this weekend. I just worked...
You work Saturday, Sunday?
I just worked it.
Oh, okay. You just worked this weekend. So this weekend you have off?
Yeah. They swapped my weekends.
This coming week. What?
They swapped my weekends.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. I hate it. Because the other weekend has no one I can talk to. Well, it will now, but because the other weekend now has nobody there. I have to close Saturday and Sunday.
Wait the 3rd or the 10th off.
What are you talking about?
Wait, when? Yeah. You have July 10th off.
Your point?
Well, the next new moon is that weekend, I think.
Well, I can't guarantee anything because of our aunt's party. She hasn't told me when they're doing it. I took that Friday off. They said it's either gonna be Friday or Sunday. I don't know why we're not.
I don't think she'd do it a week later.
No. Let me finish. You have to let me finish, and then I will explain. And that comes with the explanation. So it's either gonna be Friday or Sunday. I don't know why it's not Saturday, but whatever. Because if it was Saturday,
Sunday, okay. Whatever, Friday or Sunday.
Because if it were Saturday, I could easily fix this. I don't know why it has to be Sunday instead of Saturday, but whatever. Anyway, it's either gonna be Friday or Sunday. If it's Friday,
Yeah.
I've already taken Friday off. No big deal. However, the problem is if it's Saturday, if it's Sunday, I have to probably swap weekends or something, which means it's going to probably affect the following weekend. But I don't know because
Uh,
they haven't told me. Because they
Why
don't.
the hell would she put it on? What?
Because they're watching the weather.
Is weather supposed to be bad on Saturday? They
I
didn't know the weather a week. They know weather a month in advance.
kind of, not really.
That's my point. You don't. You cannot know Nebraska weather a month in advance.
You
We
don't
don't
know
know
Nebraska weather 5 minutes in advance.
That's my point. And you can get a fairly good idea if it's gonna snow, but you can't be exact.
Snow in July.
There's gonna be a thunderstorm or rain. You don't know that. Month in
That's what's kind of bugging me. I'm like,
advance.
if it's gonna rain, it's gonna rain. We've done it in the rain. We've had the party in the rain before.
Yeah, but we have, but I didn't think they liked that. I do remember that because that one year we were all inside.
I know, but welcome to the. I know. It's just like.
Oh, but in case you're curious, July 9th is the new moon.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like.
So my point is that you have, according to your schedule, you have July 10th off.
Yeah, I can take the 9th off as well if you want me to.
We could do it tonight. I have to talk with mom, see what day works best for her. I think she just said just kind of
Let me know.
around it.
I will get it killed.
But I was kind of thinking about that too. See, the whole point was for, and I'm really lagging on my end. The whole point was for us to drive out, I think, together. But I was kind of thinking, how are we supposed to go to the new moon? How are we supposed to go to this site if we don't drive separately?
Okay, we drive together again. Whatever. We could drive two different cars.
That was my point. Because the whole point of this was mom didn't want to drive clear out there alone.
It's gonna be. I wonder if we're gonna be able to bring Kyle with bring Will with us since we'll have your mom with us.
Yeah, maybe.
I
think that was because you didn't want to drive clear out there, alone.
Yeah. Oh no, we won't have him that weekend.
Why?
Because they have weekends. They have him that. Nope, we can't have him.
What if we did like a Thursday, Friday, or
Well, no.
like that whole week?
Well, I guess if we go during the week, we can it'd be fine. But we can't go on the weekend because he has to go to his dad's on that weekend.
Oh. Okay.
We can't. Yeah. Yes.
I guess we'll communicate it. I'll communicate it with him too. Figure out what day he has to go.
I think it's also his birthday.
Oh. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
I think I also have a dentist appointment that Monday.
I'll look around and I'll find a date that works for him.
I might have a dentist appointment that day. Hold on, I think it's over here. Give me a minute. July 20th. Never mind.
Oh,
never mind.
good.
It's weeks later. Ooh, I gotta remember to make sure I'm not working that morning.
I'll talk to him if he can help. See if he can come join. Because I did look. Apparently, would only be. We could go visit the corner again. No. Because I think it was like an hour and a half away or something.
It was an hour and a half. It was 2 hours from Alliance, and most of that was gravel roads.
We were gonna go visit the railroad though, the North Platte, the railroad spike.
What?
World's largest railroad in Nebraska.
Oh, world's largest railroad in Nebraska? That's redundant.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, the world's largest railroad, which is in Nebraska.
Yeah, yard.
Oh.
I can't believe that's the world's largest rail yard. I can't believe China doesn't have something. Or
World's
Russia.
largest rail yard is in Nebraska.
Because China has everything big.
Except that.
Apparently. Which I find really hard to believe.
Type it in again.
Well, anyways, I guess we'll get to the comments.